Welcome everybody to another episode of the Creative Cosplay Corner. Want to give you guys a look down and a rundown of who we've got on the show today. Coming to us all the way across from the other side of the planet from South Korea, we've got Kalena and I got to make sure I get it right. Kalena, okay, we're going to make sure we get her and her Instagram on there. Let's give you a rundown of all the cosplays that she's been working on. So you got to see what Kalena's bringing to the show. Let's get her on. Let's see the person and the story behind all of the cosplay. Kalena, come on the show. Let us know kind of how did you get into cosplay? Kind of give us your origin story.
Ever since I was like really little, I would watch my stepdad play games pretty much all the time. I remember my favorite ones were like BioShock and Dead Space and like pretty much all the ones that I wasn't supposed to be watching. But I always watched him play video games. I wasn't really into, the weird ones. I kind of liked the mainstream popular games. Like I would play Call of Duty with him when I was really little, but I didn't really ever touch anything else.
Okay.
I think the only games that I played that were like different were like I played a Kingdom Hearts game for like 3 weeks on a console that wasn't mine. But he played this game, and this is what I usually tell everyone when they ask me like how I got into because it's like a cause and effect kind of thing. Like I got into anime, so then I found out about cosplay. Like I had watched shows that were anime when I was a kid, but I didn't know what anime was. I just thought it was like some cartoon. And he got this game called Eternal Sonata in like 2007 or 2008. All I know is I was really young, and it's like it's an anime style game.
Okay.
And I ended up playing it later by myself when I was like 11, and I was like, I really like this style. I don't know what it is. I'm pretty sure it's anime. And then I looked up JRPGs online.
Yep.
And then started watching anime. And then I started finding the anime YouTubers, and they would do like convention vlogs. And then I found out that Comic-Cons were a thing. And then I just asked my dad and my mom if we could all go to one, and then, we all dressed up. And so like I didn't get into it like on my own. I feel like I'm pretty vocal about, like my relationship with my father on my account.
Yes.
But some people think it's weird because they're like, your dad supports you, and then a lot of other people are like, your dad's so cool. I wish he was my dad. But there was actually was a YouTuber that got me into it in the first place over all the other ones, and we're actually friends now. I'm actually friends with her on Instagram. I met her at Otakon last year, and like I spent the entire like night like hanging out with her and her friends.
Very cool.
Which felt really weird because I was watching her videos since I was 11, and now I'm 20. So
and hanging out with her, right?
And now she it's weird.
Well, let's talk about that. So I really appreciate you, and you mentioned that connection you had with your both gaming and your father, and you talked about, I think I saw maybe a Punisher, and you were MJ early on, and you guys had gone to a con or something together.
He goes as the Punisher. He either goes as the Punisher or he goes as a Clark Kent with like the shirt underneath.
Gotcha.
But we both went as the Punisher one year at Awesome Con last year. We both went as the Punisher.
Okay.
And everybody was like, your dad's so cool. My parents would never come here with me. But
Well, I think that's a huge spectrum because some parents are supportive, maybe some parents aren't, and I get that. Like you said,
Yeah.
it was kind of early on. It helped you get into this world, and it was maybe some of the early concepts of your cosplay. So in your montage, in your intro, you've got a spectrum of different cosplays from maybe some, we'll call them mainstream. We know some MJ, we know some Spideys, something like that. You've got a Phoenix and a Jean Grey, correct?
Yeah, I would love to get more, variation. Part of the reason why I kind of have to make do with what I have right now is because I don't really have an outlet to, consistently get new cosplays from or new materials. The only craft store around here is one that's for like little old ladies because it's just like antiquing, and that's literally it. But I did order new stuff, but it's not going to come until, like the end of the month because Amazon can't ship to me or
those APO, EPO boxes going to military settings, right? Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. Well, let's talk about that because you've got, is it Hunter X? Am I doing that one right?
Hunter.
Hunter. You've got Hunter. You've got some anime. What is the character? Because I don't know this. Anime is not my background. The blue leggings with the bunny ears and the turquoise hair. What is that?
Oh, Bulma from Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball. And I've seen her before, but I've never met a cosplayer personally that I've seen. I've just seen on the internet. So
really,
what's that character like to put on and go to a con? What's that like?
It's funny that you mentioned that because Otakon last year, besides that YouTuber before, but I'd never like talked to her for like more than a few minutes. But that convention, she, Final Fantasy VII?
I do.
Like, and 10. Riku, she did a cosplay like back all the way in like 2009, 2010, and it's a combination of Riku and Cloud from it's like Riku wearing Cloud's outfit.
Okay.
And I was like 12 or when I like first saw that video, and I was like, that's now a dream cosplay of mine. I have that costume. I bought it for her. Yep. She was selling all of her old costumes, and I was like, that one's mine. It's not a question. I'm spending my entire paycheck on this. and I wore it the first day of that con, and then the second day I was Bulma from Dragon Ball. And so like it was a good combination because the Riku Cloud costume, like some people just thought I was a female Cloud, and I was just like, good enough for me.
Sure.
And then I actually got a badge from the convention saying that they liked my costume, and I spent I never went into the dealer's room or the artist alley once that entire convention. I was just taking pictures, making friends. So that was like a con experience that I never thought that I would have.
Yep.
It was also my first time making a prop because I made the sword like by myself.
Yeah.
And Bulma the next day, it was a good combination because not everybody knew who I was as the Riku Cloud combination. So like I got to do a dream cosplay the first day, and then I was Ezio like during the night, but it was just for comfort. And then when I was Bulma, being an extremely popular character, it's a good like combination because the day before people might have taken pictures of my cosplay even if they didn't know who it was, just because it was like
pretty epic, right?
It was like it was made, and it wasn't like a store-bought costume.
Sure.
It was like custom for her at the time, and now it's mine.
Yes.
But Dragon Ball character the next day when everybody knows who you are and people will take pictures of you even if they don't like Dragon Ball, just because
they know that
they like Bulma. And it feels like super comforting because I have say that I have really bad anxiety anymore. It's more so like I just have kind of a very antisocial personality when it comes to like face-to-face interactions, but it completely goes away like at conventions and like because it's not like I feel like I'm hiding behind like a mask, so it's like I don't have to be like the real me. Like, it's just that I have a better outlet to be, like, to actually, like, express my actual personality, and I'm not, like, I'm not embarrassed or, like, uncomfortable, because I know that everybody around me, or a majority of people around me, are into the same things that I'm into. It's also way easier to talk about, like trivial things like anime and movies, which are things that I have way more knowledge about than other things, or at least a more willingness to speak about than, like, politics or anything like that, because I usually don't like to tend to get into those things with people, because I could kind of just go one way or the other when it comes to those things.
I love it. Well, you talk about it, right? People have a lot of passion and they have a lot of excitement when it comes to something that they are into, right? So like you said, these are my topics, these are my people. I can kind of just go out there and have fun and be with yourself. How do you do it though? How do you choose? You've got Jessica Rabbit, you've got some like pinup, you've got some Spideys, you've got some. How do you choose what cosplay you want to do?
Well, right now it's more so determined on, like, what I can do to what's available to me. But I'd say that I try to pick characters that I feel like I, can pull off. And I know that sounds like kind of like self-deprecating. It's not. I'm not saying, like, I could never cosplay. If I wanted to, but, like, back when I was, like, 12, 13, when I first started cosplaying, I always wanted to be, like, the super cute anime characters, and, like, because I was a little weeaboo, and I just wanted to be, like, like a little Japanese anime character.
Sure.
And now that I'm older and when I'm mature for the most part, I kind of realized that there are certain, like, types of characters that, well, not only do I like kind of like evil or, like, mean, like, women characters, or just, like, mature female characters more than, like, the really cute ones nowadays, but also I just kind of realized that that's usually who I tend to feel better in, like, to feel, like, more confident in, because I feel like I pull it off better than, like, a really cute anime character.
Okay.
A cosplay I have coming in is for an anime, and I haven't really cosplayed anime too much. I've been trying to more because I've actually seen, like, over 600 animes in my life, so I have a very vast knowledge of anime, and also, like, video games. But I actually am getting a real camera towards the end of the month, so
good.
Hopefully I can, like increase my quality to the point where I don't have to take, like, the same picture over and over again, basically, because I kind of just, all I have is an iPhone, and the iPhone cameras are nice, but,
they're limited.
I would like to be able to, like, go outside and take some pictures and not sit in my office and take pictures where there's paint on my floor and all that, and, like, gross lighting. But right when it comes to, like, the characters that I bought, like, that I'm waiting for, one of the characters, the anime character I was talking about, she's, like, my top 5, like, most, like, I wouldn't say that necessarily that she's, like, close to my heart or anything like that, but she's very relatable to me. So I just wanted to be her. But when it comes to conventions, like, picking who I'm going to be for a con, if it's a Comic-Con, I try to, unless I have plans to meet up with my friends and, like, do a group project together, you usually won't see me cosplaying, like, a comic book character, or likely go out of my way to pick, like, extremely underground anime characters, because I want to be the only one, because I'm an attention hog. But at anime conventions like Otakon and stuff like that, I feel, I guess, like Otakon. I'll cosplay anime characters at Otakon. I'll just try, if I'm going to cosplay an anime character at an anime convention, I either want it to be really obscure so that, you know, when somebody finds me, it's like, they're like, my God, somebody else knows this show exists.
That random character, right? Yep.
Or somebody that's like overdone, like Bulma, just because, you know, the Bulma costume is not only extremely comfortable, but, you know, it's good to have a few hours of, like, it's my 5 hours of fame until I change into this character that nobody's ever heard of, so that I can walk around and enjoy my time without being flagged down for pictures.
Yep.
But well, most of the time, oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, no, go ahead.
Nowadays, it's more so just what I can get my hands on.
So let's talk about that. I think that's a really good point. One, and I apologize, we didn't do this up front, and I should have. I wanted to thank you and your husband, and I know you guys right now, you guys are overseas. You guys are coming to us from South Korea. I understand, and I've been there myself. I did a couple tours over there. I know your limitations are kind of like you said, there's one old lady craft store, and that's about it. And Amazon and the APOs and then the boxes to get shipped over there, it's a whole hassle. So I do know you're limited. On top of that, the entire planet's going through a pandemic. And so even the people that have access to it have a hard time getting it. So that even makes it harder for someone like yourself. So one, I thank you for your service. And I say you, but I thank y'all for your service, for being a part of being over there and doing what you guys are doing. Two, I appreciate you coming onto the show. It's a 15-hour difference, I think, between me and you. And so it's already tomorrow for you, and it's still today for me. So I think that's always a fun way to do these kind of interviews. But this is not about me. I talk too much. I want to bring you out to this platform. I do want to bring you to the platform. And I've asked you a couple of questions about your origin story. How do you choose? But I want to give you another opportunity at this point to just say, what do you want to tell your audience? This is about you. This is about your cosplay and the cosplay community. What do you want to tell your audience?
I feel like I say a lot of my stories because I post a lot of, when somebody says something like that I think is dumb, I am always like, don't let this person tell you what to do, because I get like really annoyed. But if I had to pick a non-incendiary thing.
You can say incendiary. You can be incendiary. You do what you got to do, girl. You're good.
I guess something that ties into what I would say is there was a girl at Otakon that, when I was wearing my Riku costume, her dad came up to me and was like, she was like super embarrassed, but his dad was like, my daughter wants to start making a cosplay all on her own. How do you, like, and she wants to know how you made like these things, and if she really should like spend the time and effort to like do it or something like that. And I remember like I was feeling a surge of confidence, and I literally just like looked at her and I was like, you do whatever you want. Like, yeah. She was like 12 or 13, and that's when I started cosplaying. And I said at first, I was like, I didn't make this entire costume. The only thing I made was the sword. And this was my first time making it. And the fact that you came up to me to ask me how I made this because you thought that I at least my sword looked good enough to the point where you thought that I do this a lot. Yep. I don't do this a lot. But I also have a lot of friends that they get kind of like discouraged when they start to cosplay on Instagram, and they don't like grow in followers, or like they kind of just like stay the same. When I first got here, I was stuck at 3K. And then after about like 2 months of being here, I got to 4. And then I posted a character from Dragon Ball, and I got all the way to like 10K. And now I'm at 30, and it happened in the span of like less than like, and part of me is just like, I got lucky, because if I were to like get hacked and have to start all over again.
Yep.
I posted it it probably wouldn't happen the same way that it happened, but cosplay friends that are just like, I just don't want to cosplay anymore because nobody ever sees, you know, my stuff. And I'm like, if you don't want to cosplay because, you know, you want, the only reason why you're doing it is because you want other people to see it, then you probably shouldn't be cosplaying in the first place. I mean, I guess
that's real talk. I mean, I understand that, right?
like, because I feel like something that a lot of people like, I don't do like lewd like cosplay. I have no problem with it at all. I consistently tell people that there's no problem with it in my story because people like to be mean, but because like even if I did, it's a problem. Like, sure. But what I feel like a lot of like older people or kind of people my age that think that I am like selling out or that I'm doing something for attention, it's like I would still be doing this
regardless.
Like I would still be cosplaying. I've been cosplaying for a long time now. It's just that I'm older and now I get to completely choose, because before I would have to ask my dad for permission. Yep. But yeah, so like I guess it kind of goes both ways of if you're a cosplayer and you aren't happy with, you know, what you post or what you do or anything like that, and you don't feel like you'd be cosplaying at least, you know, those characters, might be cosplaying in general, but if you're forcing yourself to cosplay certain characters or from certain shows because you want popularity, you're probably going to be pretty disappointed with something later on, and it's just going to keep going. I don't know. I feel like if you're happy with cosplay in general and if you wouldn't be doing it for any other reason than you want people to see it and it doesn't like make you happy, then you shouldn't be doing it. But also on the other side of that, the people who don't cosplay or other cosplayers who look down on other cosplayers because like, well, you bought your costume, so I'm better than you, or the people who don't cosplay that kind of just don't get it, and they look at cosplay and they kind of put it all under like an umbrella, and they're like, this is what cosplay is and what you're doing is not cosplay. I'm like, if I'm dressing up as a character, that's cosplay. Well, and if you don't like the way that I did it, you can go away.
you kiss my ass, right? Get the hell out of here. So Kalena, I appreciate that, because you actually gave both sides of what I think the cosplay community does have. We have a lot of positivity. We have a lot of support. Somebody that you watched when you were 12 years old, now you're buying, you know, cosplays from them and hanging out with them. I mean, that's a huge spectrum of what we do in the community to connect with people. And I think that's great. And at the same time, there are people out there that say, hey, you know, you haven't done or put as much effort into it. And there is a lot of, I've heard, negativity that goes out there. So I think that's real talk, and I think that both sides of that shows what really is about. But you really said it early on before you got to those 2 points. Just do what you like. You know, early on you said maybe you had to ask permission, and I understand that. That was maybe a father wanted to protect your daughter, and I get that. I've got a daughter, I get that. But at the same time, it's now you're like, I'm going to do whatever the hell I want. I'm going to go cost the ones I want. I'm going to go to the cons I want, and I'm going to be who I want in these characters. I think that's a great way to look at that, and a great way to really let your audience know why you do what you do. I think that's a pretty powerful statement.
Yeah, I try to that it's usually why I choose not to talk about like anything that doesn't have to do with like a thing that nobody's opinion really matters. It's just kind of like it's fun to talk about, because I usually end up making people angry because they'll be like, isn't this person just so effing dumb? Like, aren't they just so stupid? And I'll be like, maybe you're both. Maybe you're both stupid. And they're like, what did you say to me? Like, and I try to be as like anti-inflammatory as possible, unless it's something like really dumb, like like the other day when I posted somebody on Reddit, whether or not it was a troll, the troll is in a community of people on Reddit that all say that, and I doubt they're all, like, every single one of them is just joking.
Yeah.
But I'll post it on my story and I'll be like, I don't even, I can't even grasp the concept of this, or like, I just don't get it. But most of my cosplay friends that, they say that they don't want to, I'm going to delete my account and all this kind of stuff. And some of it is because they feel like their account is going nowhere. And then part of it is, you know, when it comes to like store-bought cosplays and like cosplays that you don't have to make, they kind of just like, no, they're a dime a dozen. I'm not, you know, doing anything like different or whatever. And I'm like, that's okay.
Just do you, right? Have fun and just do what you want to do.
There's a lot of us.
Well, no, and I think it's great. I think, one, I appreciate you coming onto the show. I reached out. I know we talked about the time difference and we talked about making sure that we could make this happen. Two, I really went through and I looked at the diversity that you brought to your cosplay. And I know that you're kind of stuck right now in South Korea with a little bit of a limited options of how you get hold of your materials. Hey, if anybody sees the video and you want to DM and make sure you want to send something to Kalena, you can get something out to her. We can help her get her hands on some of the cosplay materials. We can help that process along. But three, I want to make sure, I do appreciate you all being out there. I know you and your husband are over there for the either year or two that you're going to be there. And I know that's, again, a tough time on top of this pandemic to be a part of, away from family and away from friends. So definitely, I appreciate the connection through something like Zoom or contacting through FaceTime and stuff like that. So we appreciate you being on. But for me, to you, thank you for being here. I know you had to wake up, crack of dawn, and I'm here late at night, and we're trying to make sure we get this happening. But it's been a great time chatting with you. I appreciate you coming on. We're definitely going to put out all your contact and get everybody to know how to get hold of you. And then we'll get this out there so everybody can see what it is you bring to the cosplay world.
Okay.
Right. Anything else?
Nope. I'm going to go watch a movie with my dad over FaceTime.
I love it, right? Make that connection across the pond. Well, listen, for myself here, I'm Cable Rose. This has been another episode of the Creative Cosplay Corner. We've had Kalena on here today, and we will get you guys connected to everybody else for the episode. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you guys on the flip side.